So Insta360 is back with another gimbal. This one right here didn't come out too long ago. This is the Insta360 Flow 2 Pro. They are coming out now with this new, I would say a little bit more budget friendly version. This is the Insta360 Flow 2. And with the release of the Flow 2, what's the difference now between the Flow 2 Pro and the Flow 2? There's definitely a bunch of gimbal differences here, which makes the Flow 2 come in a lot more affordable of a price. The Flow 2 Pro normally retails for about 180 bucks. We now have the Flow 2, which comes in at 130. In short, some of the things that you don't get on the Flow 2, which you have here, is the infinite 360 tracking. We don't have that anymore on the Flow 2. We also have the transparent back with the mirror on the top right here on this top motor. But I'll be having a separate video going into a lot more details on the differences here. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. But in this video, I do want to talk a little bit more about the comparison between these two, which is the now new Flow 2 and the DJI Osmo Mobile 7P. And for those not familiar with mobile phone gimbals, they are ways for you to stabilize your mobile phone video footage. And with the addition of these tracking modules here on the bottom of both of the gimbals, you're able to track subjects even with your iOS or Android phone. These tracking modules are available on both gimbals, and we'll go into more details on them in a bit. While the overall design of the gimbals look very similar, the design of the actual button layouts are a little bit different. Here on the DJI OM7, we also have a knob here on the side if you want to set that to your zoom, and we have a trigger here on the back. Now on the Insta360, very similar controls, just layouts a little bit different. It's all within this little ring right here in the middle. Remote button at the very bottom, as well as a trigger here on the back. Those triggers are really good, so if you want to lock the direction of your gimbal, so if I just wanted to go in a particular direction, all I do is press and hold it. It'll lock in that direction. Then even if I move a little bit left or right, up and down, the phone will stay nice and steady right in that direction. So as you can see here with that trigger pulled, that phone does not move, which is really cool. As far as battery life, they are both rated for 10 hours of use on the built-in internal battery. There is no external battery for you to swap it in and out in the field. They are also charged up via USB-C right here on the side. Now, maybe why you'd want a tracking device is because if you are using a third-party app, anything like social media, if you're doing things like Reels, or if you're on Snapchat, if you're on TikTok, and you want the gimbal, you want the phone to track you and follow you, those built-in apps don't do it with the gimbal itself. You're gonna need a tracking device in order for you to use that tracking function. The one thing that's nice about the AI tracker is that it doesn't matter now what phone you have on here. So if you're using something like an iPhone, using an Android device, it doesn't matter what phone you have hooked up to the actual clamps themselves, because the tracking is being done here with these modules. And like I said, when it comes down to tracking, everyone has their reasons why you might want it. Maybe you're out there in the field, you want to track your kid on a bike, or again, if we're here and you want to have the phones track you while you're doing stuff on live, on social. So right here, for example, I'm just using the native iPhone app, the video app, and I'm using the tracking module down below, and it's following me. And here's a prime example of using something like Instagram stories. It is tracking me, again, with this module here on the outside. The app itself is not tracking you. Those external modules are the ones doing it. And what's really cool is that they are gesture controlled. So if I just put my hand up just like this, it now stops the tracking. Then if I want to restart, put my hand back up, and they're both tracking again. Now, if you are planning on using tracking functions just with the built-in app, so the Insta360 has their app on their phone, as well as DJI has a DJI Mimo app. If you are planning on just using the app for tracking, you don't necessarily need the module. When it comes down to the tripod, I do like the fact that almost all mobile phone gimbals now have these built-in tripods, which makes it super simple when you're out there. You don't have to rely on bringing an external one. DJI finally came out with one. Insta360 has had it for the past couple of versions now. And when it comes down to stability, I will give that over to the Insta360. The stability on these are a little bit better. It's a wider tripod base metal as well, so you don't have as much flex as you do with these plastic ones from DJI. Along with the tripods, we also have the ability to extend out the center column. This one right here, the Insta360, goes up 207 millimeters, while the DJI one goes up a little bit more, 215 millimeters. Really good if you're out there vlogging, or if you just want to reach over a crowd, but I normally use it when I'm out there vlogging just like this. And I can position my phone down a little bit more, and I can push my phone out a lot more instead of having it too close to your face. That way I'm able to get a lot more in the shot. I really like using the pole as well as one of the features that Insta360 app has, which is called the framing or pro framing grid. The one thing I like about this pro framing grid is that you're able to now select where you want the subject to be in frame. There's 9 squares on the screen. All you have to do is say, I want my subject to be on the top right of my video at all times. And once you select it, and every time you point the camera back to you now, the camera will now keep you, the subject, in that section of the grid. This works really well when you're out there vlogging and you want to have yourself in, say, the right third of a frame because you want the rest of the frame to be like what's in front of you. You're able to select that grid and the camera and the gimbal will keep you on that side. Next, let's talk about audio. Now, the multifunctional module right here on the OM7P also works as a mic receiver. Now, one feature that is nice with the DJI Osmo Mobile 7P is that if you are in that ecosystem, the DJI ecosystem, and you have something like this, which is the DJI Mic 2, or if you have the Mic Mini, you're able to hook up this wirelessly. You don't need an extra receiver to plug into your phone. You can just have to hook up a USB-C cable from the multifunctional module to the bottom of your phone. Right now I'm using the iPhone 15. Now, most recently, Insta360 came out with their own version of mics, which is the Insta360 Mic Air. Now you're listening to the audio coming from this new gadget here. This is the Insta360 Mic Air. So if you have a X5, Insta360 X5, or an Ace Pro 2, you wanted to hook up via Bluetooth, you're able to do that with the Mic Air. But it also comes with a USB receiver. So if you have a phone like I'm using right now, which is the iPhone 15, and you have USB-C at the very bottom, all you do is plug in the receiver, and now you can have crispy, clear audio wirelessly. Audio quality on both of these mics are really, really good. So if you are in the DJI ecosystem, this will really benefit you if you have something like the mics. If you are in the Insta360 ecosystem, this right here, really cool function for you to now use a wireless mic transmitter for your mobile device. Next, we'll jump back to tracking. Like I talked about earlier, even when I was using the Flow 2 Pro, the tracking on Insta360 just seems a lot more consistent, and they're able to follow you a little bit further away compared to the DJI Osmo Mobile 7P tracker. There's a bunch of tests that I did where just having my kid either on their bike, go around in and out of, bright and dark areas, have them ride their bikes around trees. I even just took it out into a nice open area. As far as distance tracking goes, the Insta360, the Flow 2 did a little bit better than the Osmo Mobile 7P. Both these modules also have built-in lights, so you're able to change the temperature as well as the strength. However, if you're just using it really close range for vlogging, it might work, but there's not much throw on these lights if you're trying to use it from further distances. But pretty good in just low light scenarios if you're just trying to light up your face when you are out there vlogging. Also, another tracking feature that I really like on the Insta360 app that you don't have here on the DJI one is the ability to track multiple people in one scene. DJI's app does have something called Smart Capture where the scene can recognize multiple people. However, when it comes down to tracking, you have to select on an individual person that you want tracked. You're not able to select on multiple people and have them kind of grouped together, where here you are able to do that with their multi-person tracking. When I was out there following my kids on their bikes and I wanted to have both of them in the shot, I was able to circle both of them, and the tracking will then reposition the camera to fit both. Both these gimbals do have the ability to control it with your Apple Watch. However, I don't have an Apple Watch, but there was one feature on here which I thought was pretty cool that Insta360 did add, is the ability to control the camera itself and the gimbal with a secondary phone. In order to connect it, which is pretty simple, all you do is press the icon at the very top, the little remote control icon, and then it says use another phone to scan. Then all you do is bring up another phone, and I can use this to scan the QR code. And now I can see exactly what the camera sees right here on this other phone. So if I want to hit record, I can just hit record right there. Now it's recording. And if I want to reposition it, I can actually move the gimbal around just like this. Super cool feature. So while the features are very similar, the button layout is different, and it really depends on your preference as far as having it kind of all built into one versus here they are separated out. I personally kind of like the separation only because if I'm out there filming, I can feel a little bit better which one I'm pressing. They all have kind of different textures. This one kind of inset a little bit. The joystick on here sticks out a little bit more, so I feel like I have a little bit more control over it. Also, a pretty cool feature that they have here on the Insta360 app is the ability to have teleprompters. So if you do have a video script that you would rather just read on screen, so you can continuously look at the camera, you can use teleprompter and your script will be overlaid onto your video and it'll automatically move as you speak. That feature is something that we don't have here on the DJI Mimo app. We don't have that teleprompter feature. Now, when it comes down to speeding up your process, it's nice that DJI and Insta360 have something like this, which is a magnet. It's a MagSafe, which goes on the back of your phone if you do have the magnet on the back of your phone. And you're able to use that instead of these clamps. The one thing I did notice though is that the clamp for Insta360, you're able to still pop it on, just like that. And you can still use the tracker because the tracker is not connected to the phone clamp. The one thing is the multifunctional module is attached to the phone clamp, which means you're not able to use their magnetic phone mount with this module right here because of that connection. And there it is, guys. Just want to go through some of those differences between these two popular gimbals. We have the all-new Insta360 Flow 2. Again, this is the more affordable version. The Flow 2 Pro does have more pro features on the gimbal itself. Has that 360 infinite tracking, as well as a couple other features here on the arm. And here the DJI Osmo Mobile 7 and 7P. The 7P is this right here, the module, the tracking module is what makes it the 7P. And if you're not planning on doing any tracking or anything like that, you just want gimbals, they also have the Osmo Mobile 7, which does come in a lot more affordable than even the Flow 2. Of course, links to both these products will be listed down below in the video description. And thanks to Insta360, they're actually giving first 30 people to use my link down below. If you were to pick up the Flow, they're giving you guys a free MagSafe magnet for the back of your phone. So definitely a bunch of options out there for you. Again, if you're into mobile phone gimbals, hopefully this helped you guys out. And like I said, I'll be coming out with a separate video talking about the differences between the Flow 2 and the Flow 2 Pro. And of course, a bunch of other phone gimbals that are going to be hitting the market. I'll make sure I do some side-by-side comparisons with those. If you guys are interested in any one of these, the links will be down below in the video description. And as always, if you guys got some value from this video, a big like would be much appreciated. This is Ultra Stasio with FlytPath.com. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.